The message that changed Earth forever arrived on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Dr. Nadia Patel was monitoring deep space signals at the Arecibo Array when the transmission cut through the usual cosmic static with crystalline clarity. Unlike the random patterns of natural phenomena she typically studied, this was clearly artificial and clearly desperate. To any sentient species capable of receiving this warning, the Kryvax Empire approaches your sector. They consume worlds. They destroy civilizations. We are the last survivors of the Centauri Alliance. Our fleet of refugees seeks sanctuary. Please respond. Within hours, observatories around the world confirmed multiple objects decelerating from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The refugee fleet, barely 50 ships carrying the remnants of a dying civilization, limped toward Earth orbit. Admiral James Richardson stood at the UN Security Council podium 3 days later, his weathered face grave as he addressed the assembled leaders. The Centauri survivors have shared their tactical data. The Kryvax Empire has conquered over 300 worlds in the past century. Their technology vastly exceeds our own. According to their estimates, we have 30 days before their invasion fleet arrives. The chamber erupted in pandemonium. Accusations flew about cover-ups, about why Earth's governments hadn't better prepared for alien contact. But Director Yuki Sato of the Global Defense Initiative cut through the chaos with her characteristically sharp voice. Arguing about the past wastes valuable preparation time, she snapped. The Centauri have offered to share their technology. Every second we spend pointing fingers is a second we're not spending learning to defend ourselves. In the weeks that followed, humanity demonstrated its greatest strength, the ability to adapt and innovate at unprecedented speeds. The Centauri were amazed as humans not only grasped their advanced concepts, but began improving upon them. Dr. Ibrahim Hassan, leading the reverse engineering team at CERN, made the first breakthrough. The Kryvax depend on quantum lock shield generators, he explained to the Emergency Defense Council. But they've never encountered our theoretical work on chaos theory. We can use atmospheric irregularities to create cascading shield disruptions. Around the world, factories retooled for war production. Satellite networks were upgraded with alien tech. The Centauri refugees, grateful for Earth's protection, worked tirelessly alongside human scientists and engineers. But it was Lieutenant Zara Williams who made the observation that would prove crucial. The Kryvax have never faced a species that evolved as persistence predators, she noted during a strategy session. They're used to overwhelming force, not endurance. We can use that. As the deadline approached, humanity transformed. Ancient rivalries were set aside. Resources were shared freely. Every person, from quantum physicists to school children, found ways to contribute to the coming defense. 29 days after the warning, the first Kryvax scout ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They encountered no resistance as they performed their initial scans. Earth appeared largely defenseless, its technology primitive by their standards. Supreme Commander Kral of the Kryvax fleet sent the same message they had broadcast to hundreds of worlds before: submit or be annihilated. The response came not from any government or military leader, but was broadcast simultaneously from millions of devices around the globe. Phones, radios, screens all carrying the same message in every human language. We are humanity. We do not submit. We survive. We adapt. We overcome. Come and learn why even your victims sought refuge with us. As the massive Kryvax war fleet began its approach, Admiral Richardson allowed himself a grim smile. Humanity had spent its month well. The coming battle would shock the galaxy. The Kryvax were about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating a species that had clawed its way to dominance on a death world, a species that turned adversity into advantage, a species that had never encountered a challenge it couldn't overcome through sheer determination and ingenuity. The warning had been received. Humanity's response was ready. The greatest battle in Earth's history was about to begin. In the command bunker beneath Geneva, Director Yuki Sato watched holographic displays showing humanity's feverish preparations. 30 kilometers above, the first line of orbital defense platforms neared completion, their designs a fusion of Centauri technology and human innovation. The quantum disruption fields are stable, reported Dr. Hassan, his hologram flickering beside banks of servers. But we've discovered something unprecedented. Human brainwave patterns actually enhance the field's strength. We don't fully understand why, but our consciousness somehow creates quantum resonance. Can we weaponize it? Asked Admiral Richardson, studying tactical projections. Already have, came the reply from Lieutenant Zora Williams. She gestured, bringing up schematics of the new mind-striked defense system. Every soldier equipped with our neural interfaces strengthens our shields while disrupting Kravac systems. The more of us fight together, the stronger the effect. The discovery had transformed their strategy. What started as a desperate bid for survival had evolved into something that challenged the Krivac's fundamental understanding of reality. Humanity wasn't just adopting alien technology. They were changing it, improving it in ways the Centauri had never imagined possible. In orbit, the refugee fleet had been transformed. Human engineers, led by Commander Raj Patel, had integrated their chaos theory innovations into Centauri ships. "We're ready to begin full integration tests," he reported. The Centauri crews can hardly believe the improvements in their systems. The aliens who had arrived seeking sanctuary had found something far more valuable: hope. They watched in amazement as humans took their technology in directions they'd never considered, driven by the urgent need to survive. But it wasn't just military preparation that showcased humanity's strength. In cities around the world, civilians organized with remarkable efficiency. Underground shelters were stocked, evacuation routes planned, emergency response teams trained. Every person found their role in the coming defense. Diana Mendez, coordinating civilian response in Mexico City, had created a network of urban farmers utilizing vertical gardens and hydroponics. "We won't just survive underground," she declared. "We'll thrive. Let the Kravacs try to starve us out." In Mumbai, technology expert Arun Kapoor led teams adapting commercial drones for combat support. "Size doesn't matter when you have swarm intelligence," he explained, as thousands of tiny drones performed complex battle maneuvers. "The Kravacs expect capital ships. They won't expect death by a million cuts." The Centauri observers were particularly struck by humanity's psychological resilience. Where other species had faced invasion with despair, humans seemed energized by the challenge. Every small victory in preparation was celebrated. Every setback was met with renewed determination. "Your species is unique," noted Centauri Elder Xerix, watching children practice emergency protocols with enthusiasm rather than fear. "You don't just face adversity, you grow stronger from it." 20 days into their preparation, long-range sensors detected the main Kravax fleet. The images were sobering. Thousands of warships, each larger than Earth's largest cities, moving with implacable purpose toward the solar system. Director Seto called an emergency meeting of the Global Defense Council. "The Kravacs will be here sooner than expected. We need to accelerate deployment." But rather than panic, the news galvanized humanity's efforts. Manufacturing centers worked around the clock. Training programs intensified. The quantum disruption field network expanded daily. Admiral Richardson, reviewing the latest defense simulations, allowed himself a moment of pride. In 1 month, humanity had advanced centuries in technological development. But more importantly, they had achieved unprecedented unity. "Send word to all commands," he ordered. "We're accelerating to final deployment. All units to battle stations within 48 hours. Around the world, humans and their Centauri allies moved with practiced precision. The orbital defense grid hummed to life, its quantum fields shimmering like aurora in the night sky. Ground-based installations powered up, their chaos theory-enhanced weapons ready to turn the atmosphere itself into a weapon. In cities and towns, civilians moved to their assigned shelters, not in panic, but with determined order. They had trained for this. They were ready. The final piece fell into place as Dr. Hassan's team activated the global neural network. Millions of humans, linked through their interfaces, created a quantum resonance field that encompassed the planet. The effect was immediately visible from space. Earth seemed to shimmer with an inner light, the combined consciousness of humanity creating a defense the Kravax could never have anticipated. As the enemy fleet entered the outer solar system, Director Sato addressed the global defense forces. All our lives, we've looked to the stars and wondered if we were alone. Now we know the galaxy is full of life and full of threats. But we also know now, beyond any doubt, that humanity's greatest strength is our unity in the face of challenge. Together, we are about to show the Kravax why Earth will never fall. The time for preparation was over. Humanity stood united, ready to defend their home with innovations born of necessity and powered by the one force the Kravax had never encountered, the indomitable human spirit. The greatest battle in Earth's history was about to begin, and humanity was ready. The Kravax fleet emerged from hyperspace like a metallic storm, their massive ships blotting out the stars. Supreme Commander Kravax Thorn stood on his command deck, multiple eyes narrowing at the curious shimmer surrounding the third planet. Primitive defenses, he dismissed. Begin the standard bombardment pattern. But as the first wave of Kravax weapons fire approached Earth's atmosphere, something unprecedented occurred. The shots didn't impact shields. They simply ceased to exist, caught in quantum probability fields that reduced them to their component particles. Impossible, Kravax Thorn hissed. No species at this development level should have quantum manipulation technology. On Earth, Director Sato watched the first exchange with grim satisfaction. Initiate Phase 2, she ordered. Commander Raj Patel, aboard the lead defense platform, gave the signal. Thousands of seemingly harmless satellites suddenly activated, creating a web of intersecting chaos theory-enhanced fields. The very fabric of space around the Kravax fleet began to distort. Multiple ships reporting drive failures, reported Lieutenant Williams, monitoring the tactical display. The atmospheric disruption is working better than simulated. The Kravax response was predictable. They launched their fighter squadrons, swarms of smaller craft designed to overwhelm planetary defenses. But humanity had prepared for this too. Arum Kapoor's drone swarms rose from the Earth in their millions, each tiny machine enhanced with Centauri tech and linked to the global neural network. They moved with impossible coordination, forming and reforming patterns that confused Kravax targeting systems. Target their command and control nodes, Kapoor directed from his control center in Mumbai. The drones flowed like liquid metal, penetrating Kravax fighter formations and wreaking havoc on their communications. But the Kravax were not the dominant species in the galaxy without reason. They adapted quickly, switching to manual control and pressing their numerical advantage. Fighter squadrons broke through the drone screen, diving toward Earth's surface. This was the moment humanity had prepared for. In cities across the globe, seemingly ordinary buildings transformed, revealing weapon emplacements designed by the combined efforts of human and Centauri engineers. Diana Mendez, coordinating Mexico City's defense grid, watched with fierce pride as her civilian volunteers operated the systems with practiced precision. "Remember your training," she broadcast. "Let them come to us." The first Kravax fighters to enter the atmosphere encountered what appeared to be normal weather patterns. But these storms were anything but natural. Dr. Hassan's quantum resonance field, amplified by millions of linked human minds, turned rain into hypervelocity projectiles and lightning into targeted energy weapons. "Fascinating," observed Elder Zirix from the command bunker. "Your species has weaponized your very environment." The battle quickly evolved beyond anything in Kravax military doctrine. Their superior numbers and technology were being countered by strategies they'd never encountered. Human defenders, linked through their neural interfaces, operated with hive-mind coordination while maintaining individual initiative. Kravax Thorn, watching his first wave falter, felt the first stirring of genuine concern. "Launch the ground forces," he commanded. "We will take this world the old way." Massive troop carriers descended through the chaos of atmospheric combat. Some were destroyed, but many made it through, disgorging armies of Krivak's warriors onto Earth's surface. They expected to find cowering primitives. Instead, they found prepared defenders fighting with impossible coordination. In the streets of major cities, civilian militia groups seamlessly integrated with military units. The neural network allowed instant communication and coordination. Every human defender could access the combined knowledge and experience of the entire defense force. "They're trying to establish a beachhead in the Amazon," reported Admiral Richardson. "Shifting reinforcements now." The speed of human response shocked the Krivak's commanders. Before they could consolidate their landing zones, they found themselves under attack from all sides. Quantum disruption fields prevented their energy shields from functioning. The very environment seemed to turn against them, with engineered weather systems limiting visibility and movement. As the first day of battle drew to a close, the Krivaks had failed to achieve any of their initial objectives. Dozens of their capital ships had been disabled by the chaos theory fields. Their fighter squadrons had been decimated by the combination of drone swarms and weaponized weather. Their ground forces were isolated and under constant attack. In the command bunker, Director Seto reviewed the casualty reports with a heavy heart. The victories had come at a cost. Thousands of defenders had fallen, but humanity's line had held. "They'll adapt," warned Dr. Hassan. "The quantum fields won't surprise them again." "Then we'll surprise them with something else," Seto replied. "Humanity's greatest weapon isn't our technology or our strategies. It's our ability to adapt faster than our enemies can predict." As night fell, the shimmering quantum barrier around Earth grew stronger, powered by the combined consciousness of billions of humans. The Krivak's fleet regrouped, preparing for a second assault. But in cities and bunkers around the world, humanity was already preparing new surprises. The battle for Earth had only begun, but one thing was already clear. The Krivaks had severely underestimated their opponent. They had expected to find a primitive species ripe for conquest. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, one that grew stronger with every challenge. The real test was about to begin. As dawn broke on the second day of battle, the Krivaks launched their counterattack with devastating new tactics. Their ships now generated anti-chaos fields, negating humanity's quantum disruption strategy. Massive electromagnetic pulses targeted Earth's defense networks. But Director Seto had anticipated this. "Initiate Protocol Omega," she ordered. Across the globe, seemingly disabled defense systems suddenly reactivated, now powered by an entirely new energy source. Dr. Hassan's team had worked through the night, adapting Centauri technology to run on human bioelectric fields. "They thought they could shut us down," Lieutenant Williams said with grim satisfaction. "They don't understand that every human on Earth is now a power source." The Krivak's assault faltered as their carefully planned electronic warfare campaign met unexpected resistance. In orbit, Commander Raj Patil unveiled humanity's next surprise. The transformed Centauri refugee ships, now integrated with human chaos theory innovations, engaged the Krivak's fleet in lightning raids. "We're smaller and weaker," Patil transmitted to his pilots, "but they can't hit what they can't predict. Show them why humans excel at asymmetric warfare." The space battle devolved into a chaotic melee. Krivak's capital ships, designed for large-scale fleet engagements, struggled to track the nimble human Centauri hybrid vessels. Arun Kapoor's drone swarms added to the confusion, now operating in perfect synchronization with the neural-linked human pilots. On the ground, the situation was even more surprising for the invaders. The Krivak's ground forces, attempting to establish new landing zones, found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. Diana Mendez's civilian defense networks had evolved into something unprecedented. Using the neural interface system, ordinary citizens could instantly share tactical information and coordinate responses. A baker in Paris could spot enemy movements and instantly relay that information to guerrilla fighters in Buenos Aires. They expect military resistance, Mendes explained during a brief tactical update. They don't expect every human on Earth to be part of a unified defense network. The Kryvax commanders watched in growing frustration as their forces were repeatedly ambushed, harassed, and outmaneuvered by an enemy that seemed to melt away before any major counterattack could be launched. Supreme Commander Kryvax Thorn, his confidence shaken but pride intact, ordered his most elite shock troops into the fray. "These humans use tricks and deception," he declared. "Let us show them true warrior might." The elite Kryvax warriors, each a veteran of dozens of planetary conquests, dropped into major population centers expecting to finally crush meaningful resistance. Instead, they encountered something unprecedented in their military history. Dr. Hassan's latest innovation had given human defenders limited precognitive abilities through the neural network. By processing the combined observations and intuitions of millions of linked minds, the system could predict enemy actions seconds before they occurred. The human brain is the most sophisticated prediction engine in known space, Hassan explained to the command staff. "We've just scaled it up exponentially." The resulting battles defied conventional military analysis. Human defenders appeared to anticipate every Kryvax move, countering tactics before they fully developed. The elite alien warriors found themselves outmaneuvered by civilian militia groups who seemed to know their plans before they executed them. Elder Zurix, watching the tactical displays with growing amazement, turned to Director Sato. "In all our encounters with the Kryvax, no species has ever forced them to question their military doctrine. Until now." The tide turned decisively when Kryvax Thorn, frustrated by the failure of conventional tactics, ordered a massive orbital bombardment of Earth's major cities. The order was intercepted by the neural network seconds before transmission. Commander Patel's forces, pre-positioned thanks to the warning, ambushed the Kryvax bombardment fleet. The resulting space battle lit up Earth's sky like a new dawn as human Centauri hybrid ships, supported by millions of combat drones, tore into the surprised enemy formation. "This is impossible," Kryvax Thorn raged as reports of mounting losses filled his command screens. "They're primitives. How can they anticipate our every move?" The answer, of course, lay in humanity's unique evolution. Millions of years of predicting prey behavior, of anticipating threats, of adapting to overcome challenges, had created a species uniquely suited to warfare. The neural network merely amplified these innate abilities to a planetary scale. As the third day of battle drew to a close, the Kryvax forces found themselves in an unprecedented situation. Despite their superior technology and numbers, they were being systematically outfought by a supposedly inferior species. In the command bunker, Admiral Richardson studied the latest tactical updates with cautious optimism. "They're pulling back, regrouping in high orbit, but this isn't over." Director Seto nodded grimly. "No, they'll be back with something new. Something they think we can't anticipate." "Let them come," Lieutenant Williams said, voicing what every defender felt. "Humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons or our technology. It's our ability to adapt, to take whatever our enemy throws at us, and turn it into an advantage." As night fell, the neural network hummed with the combined consciousness of billions of humans, each contributing to humanity's defense in their own way. The Kryvax had come expecting to find easy prey. Instead, they had awakened a species that turned adversity into advantage, that grew stronger with every challenge. The final battle was approaching, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why Earth would never fall.